Well, good morning. Here it is. It's Thursday, and that means, of course, we're now on the downhill slide, toward the weekend. We made it past Hump Day, and of course, today is December the 5th. And anyway, I hope you had a great Wednesday. I hope that you had a great Hump Day and were able to get over the hump of this week, and kind of start looking, toward the weekend. And but anyway, even if you came up a little short on maybe getting some things done yesterday, God has He's blessed us with the breath to breathe, here on this Thursday morning. And I certainly hope and pray, that this morning finds you feeling well. Hopefully you're well rested and now ready to ready to tackle the opportunities that God has blessed us with here on this Thursday. This morning I want to share a devotional with you entitled "The Faithfulness of Zechariah." Luke chapter 1, verses 8 and 9, it says, "One day Zechariah was serving God in the temple, for his order was on duty that week. As was the custom of the priest, he was chosen by lot to enter the sanctuary of the Lord and burn incense." Zechariah the priest, he was a faithful man. He was faithful in what God set before him. His job as, a priest, included, serving in the temple in Jerusalem twice a year. It would have been, an important occasion, to, excuse me, it would have been an important occasion, for him to leave his little country parish, and go to the big city of Jerusalem, to the temple, and then enter the Holy of Holies and then offer a sacrifice on behalf of the people of God. I mean, this shows us that God, often speaks to his people, when, they are busy, doing their daily tasks. I mean, for example, when God called Moses to lead, Israel out of Pharaoh's bondage, he was tending sheep. When God called David to, run an errand, that would, result in the death of the mighty Goliath in the valley of Elah, he too was, tending sheep. When Elijah, was looking for a successor, to carry on his ministry, he found him plowing a field. And when God called Gideon, to, deliver Israel from the tyranny of the Midianites, he was thrashing wheat. When Jesus called his disciples, to change the world, they were mending their nets. They simply were doing what was set before them. Some of us, I think we envision, a great ministry for the Lord. We might have said, well, one day I would like to be a missionary and cross the ocean for Christ. Then on the other hand, God might just say, well, would you mind crossing the street first and, talking to your neighbor? You see, the mission field is all around us, wherever we're at. It's right outside, our doors. You see, God has given us, spiritual gifts as Christians. And when we come to Christ and we ask God to empower us with the Holy Spirit, you see, he gives gifts of the Holy Spirit. Romans chapter 12, verse 6, it tells us so. In his grace, God has given us different gifts for doing certain things well. The gifts of God, they don't come fully formed. As Paul wrote to Timothy in 2 Timothy 1:6, this is why I remind you to fan into flames of the spiritual gift God gave you when I laid my hands on you. We need to take the gift that God has, given each one of us, and we need to start using it. And the way we become better, at what God calls us to do is by doing it a lot. Each of us, we must take the gift that we have, and we need to, develop it through, using it. Now you might say, well, I don't know what I'm good at. Well, sometimes the best way to discover what, you're good at is to first discover what you're not good at. I mean, sometimes the process of elimination can be helpful. We can benefit from, so-called failures by, realizing that we're not gifted in those areas. We all have abilities, that God has given us, and we need to use them. However, it's difficult to, steer a car when the engine isn't running. And if we want to serve the Lord, we start by going out and doing something for Him. If we are faithful in the little things, then God will give us greater opportunities. And that's the thing I have found in my life. God has gifted me in certain areas, but He hasn't gifted me in others. And one I know is I'm not gifted in singing, but God has given me the gift to talk to people and to preach and do those things. And so anyway, I hope that encourages you here on this Thursday morning. I hope you have a great day. And remember, Angie and I, we love you guys, and we're praying for you. And Lord willing, I'll see you tomorrow morning. God bless you.